Hello, and thank you for tuning in today. We are excited to welcome Trisha from Turner Design Group here today. And she is just going to bring all her wealth of knowledge with the nice weather outside. It's perfect timing to have you come in and talk about everything we need to do to make our outside oasis just that, a beautiful oasis. So why don't we start out and just have you tell us a little bit about yourself and what drew you to the love of plants?
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Diane, for having me. It's always a pleasure. What drew me to love of plants is I've always loved to be outside, and I was creative as a high school student or a youth. So I kind of fell into this with a class at Michigan State. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. And anyways, I took a plant class my first year at Michigan State and loved it. And from that, decided, okay, I can go one of two ways. I can go either the horticulture path or more of the design landscape architecture path, and I chose landscape architecture because it was a little more artistic. So I'm definitely where I need to be in this life, that's for sure, because I really enjoy creating art with plants. It's really fun.
Well, that is so, I just love the way you phrase that, creating art with plants, because it truly is a calling. It's not just going out and dropping plants in the dirt. It's having a plan, and that is kind of where you have a really unique niche.
Yeah, absolutely. Our three biggest niches would be land planning, which would be putting together that landscape plan and phasing a project. And a lot of people that I meet with on consultations, they have no idea. And most definitely, I mean, we all have some type of a budget, right? So we can create that beautiful poolscape or that beautiful outdoor oasis that you can enjoy with your family and keep travel costs down because you just go in your backyard. And we saw a lot of that increase of interest with COVID. So something we do like to work with clients on is planning and phasing their project properly, so you're not working backwards and you're spending those dollars that you work so hard for in a wise way. We're also ecology-driven solutions. What does that mean? That means we take everything into account. Are there deer? Do you have ponding water? Does that mean we have a drainage issue? There's so many other variables as too. Sun, moisture, microclimate, that's a real thing. So there's certain areas of your landscape that certain plants, if you have to have that Japanese maple or that beautiful flowering magnolia, we can find the proper spot for that on your property. And the last one, which is our biggest, what we get a lot of feedback from, is the judgment-free consultation. I don't know what you're going through. Maybe you had a new baby. If there's dog poop outside, whatever. So kind of going to the baby, you might look a little crazy. Your hair might be crazy, whatever. I don't care. You called us to help. So that's huge. That's first taking that step, and we're here to help. So leave the dog poop. Don't worry about putting makeup on. We're here for you, and we're here to provide solutions.
Well, I love that because I know I'm just thinking of my own yard as I watch. We don't have any dogs per se, but we have two grand dogs, so they always come over, and first thing they go out and do is poop out in the yard, and you're kind of like, really? But and that would be the first thing that I would think of is, oh my gosh, I've got to go around and get this all cleaned up. But I'm
guilty of that too. Like, we just had someone come to our house last week for a service, and I'm apologizing, and he's like, I don't care. And I'm like, it's just such a natural thing to do. So you want to entertain people, or even if they're just coming over for a consultation. But yeah, I do not care. You called us to help, and we're here to help.
Well, and again, I think that is a huge draw, because and your personality, and you come out and you are so passionate about what you do.
Thank you.
And like you said, there's so much involved. I mean,
there is.
You don't stop to think about, okay, is this the right type of soil for something, or is this going to get the right type of light? You just want it where you want it. So it's really nice to have someone that can come out and kind of guide you and direct you. But on top of that, have you always been in Howell? Kind of what drew you to doing business in Howell?
No, actually, I'm from the Lansing area, from a small town north of Lansing, and I had worked in Livonia for a while, and my husband worked in Lansing. So when we were looking at taking that next step in purchasing a house and growing a family, we went in between. So for many years, I commuted past this wonderful Howell Brighton area, and it just kind of came into just kind of a searching of where do I want to be. Definitely something that was drawing to me from that commute was I knew I wanted to raise a family, and I didn't want to be in the car for so much time. But my husband and I found a nice place in Howell Township, Fowlerville. We're right on the line. And then we got to know the people and go to some of the restaurants and check out the local scene. I mean, downtown Howell specifically is so homey, and there's like fun little shops, and the farmers market on Sunday is wonderful. And definitely in starting this business, we were able to make that like this is where we want to be. We love Livingston County, everything it has to offer. So yeah, we are a Livingston County based company.
Well, we love to hear that.
Yeah.
And speaking about starting your business, I mean, you chose a very let's just say incredible time to open your business.
Well, thank you.
It was right before COVID hit, or was it as COVID was hitting?
I declared my business February 2020, so maybe it was my ignorance, but I had no idea what was about to smack me in the face.
Well, I don't think any of us did. I mean, you know,
Right.
we all were guilty of kind of hearing rumblings of this
Yeah.
strange thing that's happening over in China, and no one ever,
Right.
I don't think anybody anticipated it would blow up into what it did. But
Absolutely.
so you actually started your business basically on the forefront of COVID.
Yes.
And obviously it worked out well for you.
It did, and it was so interesting because at first I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just be a design company, and that's Turner Design Group, that we were going to focus primarily on design. That was like my vision and my business plan. And very quickly there was a wicked demand for, okay, we can't vacation, okay, now we're shut down from work or whatever, we need to make our backyard beautiful, and people were home. And something that Janelle had hit on in a previous conversation with her and I was, oh my goodness, people weren't spending money. You couldn't go shopping. You couldn't do a lot of things, and people were spending their money in their outdoor spaces. So it really opened up a unique time that people didn't have commuting gas. Maybe they were working remote. Some people didn't have daycare. So there was a lot of variables working where it would benefit individuals to expand their outdoor spaces to accommodate being home all the time. So it really worked out. Everything for a reason. But
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you touched on another really important point, is that your yard is an investment. So
It absolutely
when you
is.
are, you know, we all think it's, like I mentioned earlier, it's great just to go up to, you know, your local nursery and grab some plants and think, oh, I'm
Yeah.
going to kind of spruce up my backyard. But number one, plants are expensive.
Yeah.
And every plant has a different criteria for how to care for it. And so
Sure.
bringing in a professional to kind of give you that guidance and say, okay, you know, maybe this is where you should put this, or like you said, designing a landscape that's sustainable, because there's nothing worse than planting something and then all year long watching the deer eat it all because you didn't plan for your natural wildscape either.
Right, and people spend thousands on plants that are not the proper plants, or maybe they are a perennial or a out of our zone. So if they're not in zone 5, there might be some difficulties. Or like with hollies or rhododendron in our climate, they're going to need food and they're going to need some wind protection. So a lot of people, it is a thing. They said it all the time at Michigan State: right plant, right place. That's a real concept, and we totally observe that and help our clients, because yes, people will come to us when we're working on a project. They get excited and they're like, oh, I know you're doing the patio right now, but what about this piece? And can you plant this somewhere? And we do that too. So, and we can work with people as they get excited at the nursery. If they bring stuff home, we can find a spot for it for sure.
Oh, wonderful. That's good to know, because I am 100% guilty of that.
Sure. Who isn't, especially in spring?
Exactly.
It's
You
just-
get
you
so
get excited.
Exactly. And you just want to
Yeah.
start planting and then I always expect everything to be instantaneous. I'm like, okay,
Doesn't everyone?
why is
Right.
it not blooming right now? Or it said it was going to bloom in this
Yeah.
month and it didn't bloom. So another thing too is you have really embraced the community. I
Oh,
see
absolutely.
you out everywhere,
Oh,
and
thanks.
I love your social media posts that you do and your
Yeah.
videos that you're doing.
Thank you.
So how exactly is your business involved and engaged within the community?
Well, most definitely with Howell Chamber. We joined Howell Chamber to be part of community. Like, I want to know where my daughter's only 3.5, but when she's in school, I want to know the teachers. I want to know the community. I want to know the other parents there. I want to know how can I help? How can you help me? So it's all a give and take in the community, and so we are members of SiriusNet Referral Group as well as Howell Chamber, and both of those paired have just the return has been something I could have never expected, is by participating, by doing things like this, by having a team for the Walk to End Alls in Brighton, by hopefully participating a little more. I know you and I have talked about me being a part of the Balloon Fest in some fashion, which I'm committed to. Just the word of mouth has been wonderful. And as well, last year, over 70% of our business was from referral. And that's from people talking, people seeing our ad on Facebook through the Howell Chamber marketing package. And I know when I look to do service with others, I want a referral. I don't want to just Google it and who knows what you might come up with. So yeah, overall, it's been a wonderful experience to grow in this community and see how I can help other businesses, how they can help me, and how we can just make this a rich community, or richer. It's already rich. It's rich in people, diversity, climate, inland lakes, everything we're all about. So.
Well, we are prosperous because we do have members and we have businesses like you that really embrace and realize that it's truly is a reinvestment in the community and for the greater prosperity of everyone. So we certainly appreciate that. And as a business that is starting out, what enticed you to join the chamber? How did you know that, you know what, that was kind of the place to start?
Yeah, it was just like a no-brainer. It was community, and I already saw from a previous work experience the power of referral and being part of a referral group. And so that group that I'm a part of, SiriusNet, is in Brighton, and I wanted to tie to Howell because I technically live in Howell Township, and I'm in Howell a lot, and a lot of our landscape services are between Howell and Brighton. So it just made sense to be tied a little bit more to the Howell area. And I mean, how fun has it been?
It has been. It has been tremendously fun.
Yeah.
You have brought a lot to the chamber, and like I said, just that real. You've just been a business that has truly embraced community, and
Thank you.
I love that you're able to realize the benefit from that. That, like you
Absolutely.
said, you're referral driven, and people love to do business with people that they know and trust. And there's really no better way to do that than to get involved within the community. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate being able to sit down and chat with you a little bit and share your experience and your business with the community. Now, if someone is looking for that landscape design or someone to come out and help them plan a new patio, how do they get a hold of you?
We are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, as well. We have a phone number, 1-800-570-0675. You can email sales@turnerdesignmi.com. Of course, our website, Google us. We try to be very reachable, and you can schedule a consultation on our website. So you can do that at midnight, at whatever time's good for you. So we try to make it as easy as possible to contact us.
All right, well, thank you again so much. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.